So you just made a decision. You're about to buy a van. And I'm, of course, very happy for you, but with that decision, lots of new questions come along. The most important one is which van to buy, and that's why I'm doing this video, to help you find out which one is the ideal van for you. This is a very difficult question, and at the end you'll be the only one who'll know the answer. The point of doing this video is not telling you which van is the right one for you. That you need to figure out yourself. What I plan to do is to help you clean some doubts on your head based on my experience living full-time in a van for 15 months now. But also, after all these years of traveling in so many different ways, I think I can share with you some of the things I've learned. What I'm gonna do is to explain what can be better or not, depending on what you want to do with your van, what kind of person you are. The most important thing is money. Do you have lots of it? You don't? How much do you want to spend with your van? Because if money is not the issue, the video is about to end for you, because my advice is go buy a big one and just pay for it. Then you're okay. Buy a truck with a car inside, a motorcycle, a jet ski, whatever. Or if you are very poor like me, I'm the poorest richer guy ever existed. You need to do some thinking and to choose the right van. After money, what is very important to understand is what you plan to do with your van. Are you planning to live full-time in your van, or is something only for holidays, weekends? I don't know, 2 weeks in the summer. Because if you only want a van for a few days a year, you don't need to think much about it, because some of the things most important about a van don't really apply to you, because you're not gonna stay enough time inside to get upset or annoying with something. So your plan is to live full-time in a van. That makes me very happy. I'm pretty sure you're gonna love it. First thing that you need to know, and I talk about this all the time, you need to sleep well. Your bed needs to be good. If you cannot sleep well, you're not gonna enjoy your van life, and you're not gonna enjoy your life at all. And you need to sleep well. So you wanna live full-time in a van. The first thing that you need in a van if you wanna live full-time traveling is you need a reliable car. Some cars, they are more reliable than others, and that is the first thing, because then most of the time more romantic and more Instagram vans are, less reliable they are as well. But if you're thinking about living full-time in a van, so money will always be an issue. So be sure you buy a van that you don't need to spend money after or every month with it. So in the car side of a van, buy a good car. Buy something that people say good things about it. And there are some old ones very, very reliable. There are some, I know a few vans that the old ones are even more reliable than the new ones. Where are you planning to go? What kind of lifestyle you want? If you are a sports person that wants to go to very remote places, or if you are someone who wants to stay off-grid for a long time, maybe you should buy a four-wheel drive. I don't have, and I am that kind of person, and I don't have because a four-wheel drive van is much more expensive, and I still can go almost everywhere Sometimes I cannot stop in the perfect spot, but I stop a little bit away. So, but if you can buy a four-wheel drive, you should. Where you plan to go with your van? Are you only gonna stay in the United States? Are you only gonna stay in Europe? Or you wanna travel the world with it? For the United States, it's not the same as in Europe. You can have a bigger van. In Europe, most cities were built for horses. So if you have a big van, you'll have a big problem to go there. And if you're thinking about going to different continents, don't forget, sooner or later, you'll need to put your van in a boat. And containers are always much, much cheaper. Sometimes 30% of the price. So maybe it will be a good idea for you to buy a van that fits inside a container. Are you traveling alone? Because if you are, you don't need a big van. A mid-size van will be perfect for you. Even if you are two, you can fit really nice in a mid-size van, more or less the size of mine. Otherwise, I advise you to buy a bigger one. Do you like to cook? Do you like to spend time cooking and have a very nice meal every day? Make sure you have place for a good kitchen. So I don't advise you to buy a small van. My final advice is make sure you think even about the things you're not planning to. That is one of my regrets, because when I built my van, I was thinking about living in the summer in places like this all the time. But after I started living in my van, after my first winter, I realized how much I love to live in a van during the winter. And my van is not ready for the winter. So now I need to adapt a lot. So make sure your van is ready even for the things you think you don't need. Because we change all the time. And when we live in a van, we'll change even more. And we'll become, what I always say, the real ourselves, that will find the room and the freedom needed to come out. And we start to enjoy different things, or enjoy the same things in a different way. So think even about the things you don't think. By the end of the day, you'll be choosing between a mid-size van and a big van. With a big van, you can put your bed sideways, and that way make lots of room inside to build other things, as a big kitchen or a big toilet, and you'll have much more comfort. But on the other hand, every time you move, you need to spend more money. Consumption is higher. And there are some places it's gonna be very difficult to go with a big van. And some, especially in Europe, it's gonna be even impossible. On the other side, you can go pretty much everywhere with it. And even if you're not traveling, you can use it as a car. But you'll have less room inside to build all the things that will help you to have a comfortable home. There are, of course, many options. You can have a pop-up roof, but that, if you're planning to stay sometimes as a tourist in the middle of a city, it's gonna be very difficult for you to open it. And then you need to understand that you'll have much more noise inside when you're sleeping. And also, if it's very windy, you cannot open. So if you're planning to travel in the winter, I'm not sure if a roof like that is a good idea. So the only way you can find out the perfect van for you is think about all those things I just told you, and realize which one are more and less important for you. That way you'll find the perfect van. For those of you who have a van already and you think I missed something, please write what you think about the things I've been talking on the comments, and let's start some kind of conversation about this subject. Our way of traveling, our way of living is always evolving, is always changing. So the things you think will fit you now, it's very possible that it will change, and a few months after you have different needs. So if you have many doubts, I strongly advise you not to spend much money for now. Buy a cheap van. Don't build the perfect thing inside. Just build the minimal things that you'll need to have alive, and go. The only way you'll have the perfect van is after tasting this way of living.